In this morning's meditation, I accessed some aspects of myself that have just felt really numbed out and like dead. These parts that they felt like they just had to kind of lay down and let life just trample all over them. It's like these parts have felt like, they don't matter, that their needs don't matter, and that they're so insignificant that they might as well just kind of give up. That they're just so exhausted from trying over and over and over again in every way they could to have their needs met, and having the experience that their needs just go unfulfilled, that they've just basically given up. And they've just kind of went numb. They've just sort of, like I said, they just feel dead. And it was so beautiful in today's meditation to be reconnecting with these parts and to be feeling how I've sort of also neglected them, because I'm a person who avoids confrontation a lot. I've gotten better at this, but it's something that's still kind of in my system, where I avoid confrontation a lot. I still have some people-pleasing tendencies, of course. And I have this tendency to put people's needs before my own. And I was realizing in meditation, like, these parts need someone to stand up for them. They need someone to speak up for them. They need someone that isn't afraid to meet their needs, even if that means having to deal with some confrontation. It's like, because these parts, they want to feel safe. They want to feel safe enough to come back alive, to come back out of hiding. They want to know that there's this space here, that there's an adult here, that there's this powerful force here that will do anything it takes to meet their needs, that will really speak up for them. And this higher wisdom started coming into me in today's meditation of, the more that I embrace confrontation, the safer that I'm actually gonna feel here on earth. And that's so counterintuitive, because we all associate confrontation as a very unsafe thing. We all associate anger as a dangerous energy. So we go out of our way not only to suppress our own anger, but to make sure that others around us aren't feeling anger. And if we sense they are feeling anger, we do everything we can to to try to alleviate it for them, right? Because we just don't feel safe with anger, period, whether it's within or with someone else. And so we'll go as far as to sacrifice our own needs just to make sure others around us don't feel uncomfortable, or that we don't trigger them, or they, or they don't have to feel feelings that are uncomfortable to them. It's like we just want to manage everyone's feelings. We just want to manage everything around us to make sure that those kind of energies don't arise at all. But what I was really getting this download this morning of is, the more I'm able just to, embrace confrontation when it's necessary to meet these parts of myself's needs, the more I'm able to let go of being so concerned about how others are going to feel. Like letting go of the idea of, oh, no one can feel, bad around me, or I'm not allowed to hurt someone's feelings, or something like this. Realizing that's not about me. It's like that's about them. When we speak up for our own needs, people are entitled to have whatever feelings they want to have about that, and then they can speak up for their needs. And then it's like that's how humanity works. It's like we rub up against each other. That's how boundaries work. That's how a lot of this filling out our body works. Becoming embodied is we're gonna bump up against other people's needs and boundaries as well. And it's like we rub up against each other like sandpaper to feel like, okay, and then we can all kind of land in a place that works for everyone, where everyone's needs are taken into account and validated. And then we can kind of find an area of compromise or not, or maybe we discover the situation isn't going to work for everyone's needs, and then there's a different, maybe it's parting ways, maybe it's just a different solution. But that's so much better than just sitting around and pushing your own needs down, and just trying to make it work while your own body's like screaming at you and super uncomfortable, and you have all this repressed anger. It's better just to find out right away if it's going to be a situation that works for you or not, whether it's like work, relationship, anything. It's better just to like bring your needs forward, to speak up for yourself, to speak up for these numbed out and deadened parts of us, these parts of us that have been so overlooked, these parts of us that they've had to feel like they just had to get super small to coexist, to that's all they felt like. They just felt so unworthy. They're just like, I just have to be small in this situation. I'm not allowed to be here, basically. It's like, it's better just to speak up for those parts and to be big and to say, what you like, to speak your truth and to what you really need in every situation, in every relationship, and to find out like if it's going to work or not more directly. It's just like more efficient. That way you're not sitting around in pain the whole time and just like so feeling, like trying to make it work from a place of I'm just going to, put my needs second and just put everyone else first. And if I can just get everyone else happy around me, then I'll feel safe. It's like that is such a fantasy. And then we waste so much time doing that because that doesn't actually, it doesn't actually address the deeper underlying needs. It's like this part of you wants to, it's not even about other people in a sense. It's about, does it feel safe to be itself? Does it feel safe to express authentically? Does it feel safe to be big and to have its boundaries? Feeling safe, actually, I'm learning, isn't about what others are feeling around you. It's like the safer we feel in our body, the less it really matters what others are feeling. Yes, we're empaths. Yes, we want to hold space for people. Yes, we want to have compassion. Of course. Yet we're not going out of our way to hurt people. This isn't what this is about. This is just about when we speak up for a genuine need. It's not our responsibility how others feel about that. It's not our fault if that happens to trigger them in some way. Yes, we're open to communication. Of course, this stuff comes naturally to us. We're empaths, we're sensitive beings. But there's this path of learning where when we start honoring our own needs and making them a priority and speaking up for them, that's a really beautiful offering to the one as well. Like that's going to get you on this path of growth in relationships really quickly with those around you. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to bring a lot of stuff up, which is why we avoid it. But it kind of gets you into the real stuff a lot quicker. And it gets you embodied. It gets you into your body. It gets it so that like these parts of you that have been suppressed, that have had to feel small, that have felt so overlooked, it gets it, like speaking up for yourself, it helps these parts to really start rehabilitating. It's like these parts, they want to rehabilitate. They want to start growing. They've been stuck as like this 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-year-old that is terrified of saying what it needs because these parts actually feel like they shouldn't even have needs. Like, what do you mean you have a need? Was kind of the response from the external for a while. It's like, no, your needs, you're not allowed to have needs. And so these parts, they actually feel like they shouldn't even be here. They feel so disqualified in a sense. they feel like they're a problem or they're a mistake. But I believe I'm on a road here. I thought a car was gonna come and I was gonna have to end this video real snappy. So yeah, I kind of lost my train of thought there, but it's just really important to know that once you start speaking up for these needs, and once these aspects of yourself realize that they're important again, through you being bold, through you being brave, and through you standing in your courage and just standing for these parts, they're gonna feel like, oh shit, I matter. And then they're gonna start rehabilitating these stuck parts that were 5, 6, 7, 8 years old or however old. They're gonna start growing again, and you're gonna start to feel more of like this adult, more of this powerful space of presence. And then automatically after a while, people will just start meeting your needs and knowing your needs, because you'll be meeting your needs within you. You'll have this, carry yourself with this sense of self-respect, this sense of power. And so it will get easier, but it's really hard at first, of course. It's really terrifying. A lot of you, I know when I was first waking up, when I would start speaking my truth, my voice would start shaking and my throat would have this lump in it. And it's like, because this energy's been so repressed for so long, that when we first start speaking our truth, it can be really, really excruciating and almost impossible. But once we start doing it, our energy field will start filling out. And then the process kind of takes on a life of its own, and we just start owning more and more parts of us. We just start being there for all of these, repressed and neglected and abandoned aspects of ourselves. And then that's the path of embodiment. That's the path of fortifying your energetic field. It's like you just keep kind of growing your presence in that way. And then once you're safe within yourself, it's a lot easier actually to hold space for other people when they're going through stuff, or it's a lot easier to kind of really be there for what other people need. But if we're not there for what we need to start with, guys, we're doing this. We're putting the carriage before the horse. We're doing it backwards. It's like we all kind of have done this thing where we spend all our time going around trying to meet everyone else's needs before we're meeting our own. And of course that never works, right? It's like, what happens when we meet our own needs and we let other people have their feelings about that? We let them have their reactions. We see that that's just their ego, and some of their reactions might be valid. And like I said, other people get to have their responses and they get to have their needs too. And that's how humanity works. Humanity and human relationships can be a bit messy. They're allowed to be messy. They're allowed to be kind of chaotic at times. They're allowed to be all of these things. Because that's through you speaking your needs, and then maybe it triggers someone and then they speak their needs. Guess what? That's how a deeper harmony is found in relationship. But if we're not willing to stand up for our own needs to start with, none of that beautiful stuff can happen. None of that stuff can come up to the surface and be alchemized and be seen. And the possibility of both people landing in an even more harmonized place where they both acknowledge and respect the other's needs in an even deeper way. None of that actually can happen until we start speaking up for ourselves, until we know that all of our needs are important. And hey, like I said, just because you start speaking up for your needs right away, it doesn't mean they're going to be met immediately. It just means you're on a pathway of relational growth. It just means that you're actually learning what it's like to be a human being on Earth. You might speak up for your needs and people might not meet them, but the fucking important thing is you spoke up for your needs. The important thing is that people, they don't just immediately meet your needs. That's actually the most valuable thing, is these parts within you, they learn that you are willing to take a stand for them. That's the beautiful part. That's the gift. Whether other people meet your needs or not, it's really not about you. That might happen, it might not. You might, you know what I mean? Like, if it happens, cool. If it doesn't, you might have to like figure out something else. But that you're on a path. You're on the pathway of power. You're on a pathway of like rehabilitating these parts. They just want to know that you're there and that that they matter. That's all that needs to happen. Yeah, I got a tremendous amount of chills towards the end. I hope you all stuck around till now. Maybe I'll just post the last couple minutes there somewhere, but yeah, that's what came through in meditation. I'm committed to doing this for my parts. I hope that this video inspires you to commit to doing this for your more neglected, scared, and repressed parts as well. So sending you all so much love. These videos resonate. I would love a donation if it feels inspiring to you. I will put a link in the description box below. It will say support this work, and there will be this link. It's really easy to click on if you would like to send me a love donation. But other than that, just thank you for being here. Thank you for watching this, and I will see you guys in the next video. Namaste.